Well, good evening. This is Gina Tadella, and tonight I'm going to show you this beautiful blues kit. It is in the kits collection in the online store, and it comes with this stamp set. Let me fold this because it comes in 2 languages besides English. That's why it has those other ones there. So, anyways, sending love, wishing you comfort, and you're in my thoughts. So, we're going to create with this tonight. It comes everything in the kit. Let me turn my contents. Hello, Linda. Thanks for joining in. Anyways, it's got these beautiful blue gems and dimensionals, the regular size, tear tape, and this one comes with a block. So, same size it comes with the paper pumpkin kit when you're first a subscriber. So, anyways, I'm going to put that to the side. Because I don't need that, because I brought blocks in here. I didn't even realize it had blocks with it. But it does come with tear tape. And it's using the Night of Navy, so it comes with a spot, but I'm going to use my Night of Navy ink pad. Let me go ahead and take these out of the bag, so I'm not having to fuss with this at the time of creating. Hopefully everyone has stayed cool. And these gems are self-adhesive. They have glue dots on the back of them. So let's go ahead and mount these onto blocks. So this is a photopolymer. So when you peel them off, take your time. I'm going to do my other blocks. Okay. You see how I'm slowly peeling those off? I take my glasses off so I can see here. Hey, Bee. Actually, got a hair there. I usually turn them upside down to mount them on the block. So 1 leaf and 3 sentiments. There's 4 stamps total in the kit. There we go. And 1 more. Now, once I'm done with this kit, I'll be using it again, but I'll just use other DSP and use another coordinating color. Yeah, that's straight. Okay. So here are the cards. And the great thing about these, it has beautiful envelopes to go with them. So let me show you the stuff. And then we'll get busy. So here are the envelopes. You get 9. Make sure. Yes, 9. And here is card 1. Beautiful rose. And they're pre-scored. And I'll just use the bone folder afterwards. And I usually flip them over and do both sides. Okay. There's one. And then here's the tabs. So you want to pop these out. They're pre-cut. They're die cut. They always give you 1 extra, just in case you mess up on one. And then it comes with a piece of chipboard, which is what you want to stamp on when you're using photopolymer. So if you don't mess up, you have extra pieces to use for another card. Everybody have a great weekend. While I'm pumping this pot, pumping punchy these out. Pumping. Oh my gosh. Can't even talk. I had a class in West Bremerton today. And it was cool inside the room where we had the class. But as soon as I got in my car, it was so hot. I got done, it was about 2:45. Oh my goodness. 2 more. Way too hot, B says. Saturday was too hot. Oh, I mean Sunday. Well, today was as hot as Sunday. Hate to say it, Linda. It seemed like it to me, put it that way. Okay, let's see what card number 2 is. Oh, yes. So it's that way. These would be great birthday or sympathy cards. Or somebody's been sick. And then here's the blue sky. So if you wanted to, you could cut this and mount it on a basic thick white card base. But I'm not going to do that. I need to do that to the other ones. I didn't do that. Where I can smooth out the folds. So see, this one has 2 sides as well. So if I choose to, I'll probably cut it down so that way I have another side. The white rose is the only one that does not. And here are the flowers. They're really... So what you want to do is you want to take your time, work it. If you're not used to taking these out, don't try to do all 3, which I really shouldn't be doing either, because they're too delicate. Sometimes try to save time can be not good, because you don't want to tear these up. In the kids collection, they don't sell refills. You would have to buy a whole nother kit. So just to give you a heads up. This is really dainty. I should separate these. Not stack all 3 up. Okay. Now these 2, I should be able to do that. Yeah. Trying to do all 3 at the same time, not a good choice. But you can do 2. There we go. And I'm assuming this pretty white rose probably goes on that one that's solid blue. Haven't looked at the pictures yet to figure that part out. Isn't that pretty? And then we got the white one. So I'm just taking it out the other way. There's too many fragile pieces here. Okay. There's that one. All right, and then there's a laser cut. Isn't that pretty? And these have already been, don't have to do any cleaning up. They're all punched out. All righty. So let's see what we have to do on the first one. So when you get your thing, you just go ahead and open it up to page 1. And then you fold it back. and it shows you all what goes with it. Now this is stamped on the inside, and then you stamp the saying, "You're in my thoughts," and then it gets mounted on. You put the tear tape there and mount the saying, and then you mount all three of them with 3 dimensionals onto the rose, and then you add 3 of the jewels, and the jewels can be wherever you want to place them. So on this one, where's the full picture? You can't see where they place them, so I'm going to put them on the flowers where they can really stand out. So let's work on that one first. And that is on this solid blue card. So I'm going to leave that there in the picture. And what we want to do is stamp "You're in my thoughts" first, and it's on the long rectangle, this one. And I usually go ahead and stamp all 4, because that way I can use it whenever I want to. And it'll just be added to my little stack of stuff. So we'll move the card out of the way so it's not in our way. So that way y'all are in the picture so you can see what I'm doing. Let me open up my Night of Navy pad. So when you ink up the stamp, we want to prime it. Perfect, because it's very delicate. I'm assuming I have it straight. We'll know in a moment. Perfect. Can go down just a touch more. Remember to stamp on your chipboard. And press on top of the block. And I just stuck my little finger in the ink. I sure did feel that. Even pressure. You don't want to rock it. There we go. And one more. And hold the paper when you pull up. And there we go. Now I'm going to move this ink pad out of our way. I'm not going to close it up because we'll use it for later. So now we're going to bring this in. Actually, we're going to go ahead and mount our pieces. So I want to stamp this one for the inside. But I'm going to save that because I think I'm going to cut these apart since I got flowers on both sides. And I'm going to make another card. So I don't want to stamp it on the inside. I'll stamp it on the other piece that I use for inside. So now we're ready to mount that onto this one. So what you're going to do, make sure I have it right. They have this down. Big side is down. It's white on the back side. So you're going to put a piece of tear tape here. And I know I pulled it out. I did. It's right here. And it's very narrow. Like 1/8 of an inch. You're just going to place it there. And it does tear right off. Then you burnish it. This kit just came out. So just to give you a heads up, it came out in the month of June. And they have one that's a pop-up, and I haven't gotten that one yet. But it only has 4 cards, 4 individual style cards, but they're pop-up animals. Very cute. So as soon as I get that, I will do that. Okay. Now you're going to just place this on here, just like that. And then we flip this over, and then you're going to add It would help if I had my dimensionals on the right side. You'll put a dimensional there, a dimensional here, and I always put one in the center so it doesn't divvy up. So let's finish these all off. Put our sayings on here. There we go. I should have flipped it over and do that because, yeah, you don't want to smear your ink that you just stamped with. I usually put the two ends and then do the center. Okay. So now we're ready to mount that. So it's going to go, you just take your fingernail and you go right in here, or you take your paper snips and pull them up, or you take your pick tool. You just, there's one. Just to show you how easy these are. And then one more. And this has 3 jewels on it as well. So we'll just take our paper snips and then pick these up, because remember they got adhesive on them. And I'm just going to put them in the flower centers. One center, and probably put that one. I don't have any more flowers. Don't want to put it all over there. I'll put this one up here. So there is that card. Isn't that beautiful? This ain't a paper pumpkin, Bee. This is a Kits collection. This is the one they usually add 2 every month. But this month, the month of June, they added this one, the Beautiful Blues kit, and they added a pop-up animal kit, card kit. But the pop-up animal card kit only has 4 cards, 4 different styles of cards. This one has 3 styles, but you get 3 cards of each. But the other one is only $10 too. You can't go buy a pop-up card. Maybe one card will cost you $10, but you get 4 of them for $10. So there is that card. So there's 3 of them done just that quickly. Now we're on to the one that's a solid blue. And that's where the laser cut comes in. And this one says Sending Love. This is on the small rectangle. This one here. And therefore, I'm going to go ahead and bring back the Night of Navy pad. And prime that. Beautiful. And stamp it straight down. Even pressure. Oops, I didn't get that L all the way. That one down. Now you see why they gave you 4. But I'll get mine out of navy marker and fix that. Okay, move that pad out of the way. And then this one, they use, I don't know what they put that on. I guess they use the tear tape. Where is the lattice work? That's this one. I'm going to go ahead and use my multi-purpose glue. That way I can put a little bit wherever I want it. I don't want it to raise up. Thin line. It doesn't have to be everywhere. Don't think you have to do it in all your places. I'm just doing it in a couple of areas. And then I saw a piece that didn't get punched out. Right here. I thought I'd it all. Where was it? I just saw it. Right here. Well, how am I going to get that without getting glue on my fingers? There we go. It's alright, I'll check the other ones before I put glue on it. Alright. Getting the card over here. In our map space here. And place that on there. Isn't that pretty? And then this is the one that goes on here. It adds right to it. We get back to the page. The number 2. Okay. So, they have this one turned this way, which makes perfect sense. All right, so we'll go ahead and put a piece of tear tape on this. I'll just do one, and I'll do the other 2 afterwards. I'll flip these over so I can get the tear tape on there. Whoops. Burnish that. Burnish that one. Now I need to put this one on here. Okay. All right. Burnish this and peel that off. Let me see. They have this way. Okay, I don't want to cover up the roses up there at the top. Okay. And the good thing is you can switch this however you want. But then we're going to put dimensionals on the back of that saying. And then they covered up the flowers. I'm not doing that. That's why it's a good thing that you can do it however you choose. I'm going to put it down here, right below it. So there's that one. Now we'll go ahead and check to see if all those little pokies are out. That one is. There's nothing there on that one. There's nothing there on that one. Great. Okay, so let's flip this back over so we can put the adhesive on. Yeah, it is a nice card. Thank you, Bee. Thank you, Linda. I'm telling you what, the kits come in handy, especially when you need a card for sympathy or somebody getting over something or having a birthday. Easy, quick, and beautiful. Just add a little bit more glue here. Gotta hit the frame. Frame's the main thing. Don't have to worry about too much on the center part. You got flowers and stuff. There we go. That's good for that one. I'll bring it over onto the card base. And then just take your time centering. That's why I did thin line, because that way it gives you time to get it shifted. And we peel off this tear tape. Well, thought I had it the first time, but I didn't. And I'm going to turn this one this way. Bring it down just a touch. Just don't have it hanging off the card. That's important. We'll put dimensionals on this one. There we go. And you mount that. You can mount it here, or you can mount it up here. We'll mount this one up here. Doesn't hurt to change it up. They don't all have to be the same way. I knew I had glue there. I felt it earlier. Okay, then we'll add the jewels afterwards. So let's get around the frame. If you get too thick, just smooth it out. My husband, he's snoring up a storm. And he says he doesn't snore. I know I snore. I won't lie about that. There we go. Pick this one up. Bring the card over. Place that on there. You pretty much eye it and see that you get it right into place. We'll flip this over. Burnish that. I'll put the same on this side. In this corner. There's that. Whoops. That one. There's that one. Indent. So I pull up. Bring this over here to this corner. There we go. Let's bring these back in. And then put our 3 jewels where we want them. I'll put one in that rose. One in that rose. And I think I'm going to do that rose up there. It's got an open spot. Same way here. There we go. here. There's that one. There's that one. Aren't those nice? And see, the sentiment doesn't have to be in the same place. I switched them out. There we go. Now on the third one, it is using the white card. This one here. Now this one doesn't have anything on there. So now this has these pieces here. And I think I did a faux pas. I think I was supposed to use the white ones on the navy blue one, and I used the navy blue one. But you know what? This will stand out, but we can also, where's my other one? Did I drop it? Oh, there it is. There it is. So, if I had a sponge dauber, which I do not, but what I think I'm going to do is get a tissue, and we're going to sponge daub those. So let's make these stand out. So we'll make them blue. You ever say what I do with that one? White on white just doesn't show up. So I got a tissue. It was close by. And we're going to take our Night of Navy pad, and we're just going to blot them so they're not solid white. See that? Since I used the wrong one on the wrong card. But that's all right. Just shows you how you can add color. I'll leave one white so you can see the difference. And I'll make this one the darkest one. So, move this over. Pick it up. There we go. Okay. They don't have all the areas nastied. You can't drag. You have to pat because the stuff is so fragile and thin. And this one will stamp the leaf on the inside. Okay. I got enough ink on my fingers too. Now, here's the stamp, the leaf. What I'm thinking about doing, perfect. I think I'm going to stamp that on this one to give it a background. So it's not all blue. Wait a second, let me do this one. Okay. So, let me move this out of the way before I have a disaster. So this one just has the images stamped on it. And these two were sponged with a tissue. But you can use a blending brush. But the blending brush, you gotta be careful of the leaves. So probably a sponge dauber or a spot, whichever one works best for you, or tissue like I just showed. Okay, now on the inside of the card, slide that over, they showed the leaf stamped on the inside, which is what we're going to go ahead and do. Just bring it in here on the corner and then just press firmly and count to 5. Isn't that nice? Beautiful. And then you can also do it on the back side of the card if you want to sign your name on it. Leave those open so the ink can dry. Oops. That was not good, Gina. So what I meant about on the back side, I'll show you. So if you wanted to sign your name, you don't want to put the whole leaf on there, just a portion, and you can sign your name there. Okay, now we have to stamp the sentiment. Probably have to fix that card. Here it is. So this one, you should be dry, because I need to use a chipboard to stamp on. White on white. It's not great for older eyes, believe me. Okay. Alright. So the sentiment is wishing you comfort. There we go. So we want to center this best as possible. And count to 5. And hold the paper. Probably not going to stamp it on the 4th one. Probably use a happy birthday. Here we go. Nice. Now I can close this pad up before I have any more blue anywhere we don't want it. Okay, so now we're ready. Make sure my fingers are clean. Alright, so here's the card. And before we start that, we want to mount this onto this. So, it's only a portion of it. So the tear tape goes there. And what I do with the tear tape, there it is. Put those tools up, we don't need those. One there. One there. And one here. Okay. So, good thing is, we don't have to mount them all the same way. Which I'm not. I'll show you what I mean. So on this one, I'm going to mount it this way. Whoops, did not burnish that enough. There we go. This one, turn it around and mount it that way. And we'll put dimensions on the back of those. This one, we're going to mount it this way. So don't think you have to copy based on the directions. Because see, it's wide enough to cover that. But I want some of that to show. Don't want to cover it all up. There we go. Now we're ready for the dimensionals. So we're going to mount a total of 5. You're going to hit the 4 corners inside the divot. And then 1 in the center. Same here on this one. and this. Here we go. Just make sure your dimensionals are not hanging off the edges. That's so important, otherwise it shows through. That's why I said stay inside the divots. Here we go. And the last one here. Oops. There. And there. Now, all we have to do now is we just press in, and then you can peel up. Alrighty. Now, I'm going to place it up here on this one. They don't have to be in the same spot on each card. Now, on this one here, I'm going to place it down at the bottom. I knew I didn't get that one off. Okay. Okay. Now I think I'm going to place this one up the top because this is the one that's white. The other one, I can do that. The one that's got the navy. Okay. If you're not sure if you got them all off, just touch it with your nail. You can feel the stickiness. And then here's this one. Now press it right like that. You just don't want these hanging off the edge, because then they'll be messed up by the envelope. Now we're ready to put our jewels on. This one has 3 full roses, so that's where I'm putting these. Right in there. So there's that one. And there's this one. So we have this one showing, and then this one showing. So we'll put the other one up there in the white. And that leaves you 3 extra ones to do whatever you choose. See? So there are those 3 cards. Aren't those beautiful? And look how easy that was. We got this done in 40, you might as well say 40 minutes because I talked and had to punch stuff out. But it just shows you how easy that is to make those cards. I'll put that over there because of all that stuff over here. That dark one will cover that up. And of course the horizontal one. So there you go. That are the 3 cards. Aren't those nice? Beautiful kit. It's called the Beautiful Blues Kit. It's in the Kids Collection in the online store. So reach out to your personal demonstrator and let her know that you would want one. And those who know me, they know how to get a hold of me. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful week. Stay cool, please. And I'll see you next Monday at 7 p.m. Take care. Bye-bye.